Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. Thank you for checking out the AutoDrill videos online. Love to talk to you about some of our multi-spindle heads that are going out today. So we've got a couple of cool heads here. I'll start off with the biggest one here. This one's actually ordered by a customer. This is ER32, and so they're going to put their own collet nuts and collets in here. But it's a 4-spindle head, 1-to-1 ratio, and they're going to be drilling 4 holes in a very distinct pattern. And so this is a very capable head. This is ER32. It's the third largest of the ER style heads we can make. We can make ER40, which is even larger, and we can make ER50, which is even larger. Now this has a single input in the back that's going to have an adapter. It's going to be spun by a device with enough horsepower and enough thrust to perform the 4 holes at once. And you can see we've got idler gears in there, which are very sizable inside this head. I don't know if you can see the width of this, but the gears in there are really, really robust. So this thing will last for many years. And when it spins, the RPM is 1,000 back here, the RPM is 1,000 here, and this device can do drilling or tapping. You can see there's almost no lash in those gears at all. And so it'll do rigid tapping, it'll do drilling, it'll do reaming, it'll do anything you want. And we can get collets that are really small all the way up to the largest size for ER32. But we do ER40, which is larger. We do ER50, which is even bigger than this. And then we can do custom heads even larger than that. And so it's kind of neat how big they go. So I'm just going to switch gears here and go to the smallest style head that we make, which is an ER8 style head. And so this little head here is also a 1-to-1 ratio, same thing. You can still see, I mean, it's pretty sizable. The gears inside of here are very robust. And so this head, again, is spun in the back by a drive tang. This is a custom for the customer. And this will take up to a 5mm collet, or I believe 3/16. And so this customer is drilling 5 holes at a time, all 1-to-1 ratio in a special pattern. And just to make it extra special, they ordered 2, right? So ER8 is the smallest we go. We can get down to about 1/2 inch center to center. I don't know if you can see just how close these two are together, but we can get pretty close on the hole patterns, and we can do many, many, many spindles. So it's just kind of a neat setup. So next size up from there would be ER25. This is one of our adjustable heads. We loosen these bolts, and the center to center can change. The adapter itself is a clamp adapter, so you put it on your machine, you twist the head, you change the center to center, and you can go real close, you can go real far, and anywhere in between. And so it's a very versatile ER25 style head. This one happens to be doing tapped holes. I can see there's some tapped collets in there. So this is going on a machine that's going to be tapping holes for the customer. And of course, with every head, we provide the wrench that goes onto these nuts. All right, so you just tighten that up. You put something on the flats to hold it, another wrench, and you tighten these collets up. And we make sure that you're all set up and ready to go when you receive your head. So this is an ER25 mini nut, right? You can see those nuts are polished and they're a smaller diameter, so they can get nice and close together. Here's an ER25 head with a standard, what we call castle style or non-mini nut. ER11 through 16 has hex nuts. ER20 actually has hex nuts. 25, when you get away from the mini, goes to this style. And this is an 8-spindle head. Again, 1-to-1 ratio. Custom adapter back there. And this bugger will do 8 holes at once for the customer. So that, you would think that would be a pretty interesting show of the diversity of the heads that we can do. And then we get to the custom heads. So these are already custom. We got custom patterns. We can move these spindles around almost anywhere you want within the limitations of the head. But what about custom spindles, right? So this customer wanted to put their tooling directly onto a threaded mount. And instead of putting a threaded mount in a collet chuck so that it just brings everything out real far, we made the spindles with a thread on them, and they just put a little piece of steel or so, like a little post in here to hold this instead of flats. They tighten up their tooling on here. It's all threaded in the proper direction, the proper thread. And so we've got a 6-spindle head here. Same thing as before, 1-to-1 ratio, right? Very little lash in that head. Same thing, custom driver in the back. And we'll do whatever you need to do. You let us know what your pattern is. You let us know how many spindles you need. You let us know the material. Let us know what the job is, and we will create a head for you. But that's not all, as Mr. Popeil used to say. We can provide the units that drive these, that provide the spin and the thrust. And so if you need to drill, we'll give you enough horsepower to spin your tooling, enough thrust to drill the holes. If you need to tap, we provide enough thrust as well to start those holes, but enough horsepower to spin in both directions, forward and reverse, to make a nice, clean, tapped hole. Our record at the moment, and I dare you to try to push us farther, is a 40 spindle head on a single device. So just for illustration purposes, imagine you have a drill press or a Bridgeport or a CNC doing one hole at a time, and you have 40 holes on your part, and you got to move that thing all over the place. Well, now you can do 40 holes in one stroke. Your efficiency goes up, your accuracy goes up, because you're not moving the part around, you're not making mistakes on location or depth or anything like that. One stroke, 40 holes. That's how you make your money, folks. And so this one head over here is going on to a drill press with a Morse taper 2, right? And remember I showed you those custom drivers. This is how that works. Right, that driver goes in the Morse taper 2, goes on the back. There'll be a clamp like this that goes onto the quill of the drill press, and before you know it, you're out there drilling holes. This one actually is not going on a drill press, but regardless, we can do drill presses, Bridgeports, or other mills, CNC machines. We could put them on the face of a motor, and you can build a slide, or we have customers, vendors that will build slides for you. You can automate the process. We have one customer doing over 1,000 holes in a single stroke with many heads on the face of motors. You let us know how we can make you more efficient. We would love to give you an absolutely dependable solution for your challenge. AutoDrill.com, 800-871-5022, or internationally, you can see the number right there. Put a +1 in front of that, 908-542-0244. Much success, blessing, and safety to everyone out there. Let us know how we can help you.